Today on the Save It for Parts channel, I need to measure my duck. Actually, multiple ducks. So how the heck do I measure a duck? Alright, what can I use to measure a duck? Yeah, it's too small. Kind of inconvenient. Yeah, wrong kind of measuring thing. What if I make a bigger caliper? There we go. We have a duck caliper. This is harder than it looks. Okay. Be free. So 7 inches. We have a 7-inch duck. I better go measure the goose. I would say the angry goose is about 10 inches wide. As you may have seen in previous videos, we have a small flock of ducks in the backyard as well as one goose. The goose is supposed to be the guard animal, and it's supposed to be one of the nicest breeds, an American buff goose, but it absolutely hates me and spends most of its time either trying to attack me or trying to attack other random things in the yard, like the hose, 5-gallon buckets. There's not a lot of brain power in a goose. So the birds live in this little yellow coop in the backyard, and we have this kind of vine-covered run that they can go out in during the day. Now the coop also has nesting areas for the ducks. The ducks are all girls. We don't really know what the goose is, but when these ducks start laying eggs, they're still kind of young, they haven't really started yet, but when they start laying eggs, we don't want the goose to just go in and trample everything. Yeah, the goose has just no connection-making abilities in its head. It's like, oh, there's water going into the pond? I love water. I'm gonna fight this thing that's putting water in the pond. Oh, the human is feeding me? I love eating food. I'm gonna bite the heck out of the human. Yeah, a goose is pretty much the worst pet you can have, but it has its uses in keeping stray cats away from the ducks and whatnot. Anyway, I need a way within the bird coop to basically filter out the goose. Let the ducks come and go to the nesting area, but keep the goose out of that area. So we need to make some kind of a fence that the ducks can pass through, but the goose won't be able to fit. So I've actually tried making a bird filter before, and these are 7-inch openings. The duck was 7 inches, the goose was 10 inches, but clearly the goose can fit through 7-inch opening because this has failed, and the goose gets into the back area and actually has trampled an egg. So this is not working. We even tried adding a limbo bar to make it lower so that the ducks could run underneath and the goose wouldn't get in. The goose still goes right through this. So we have several sizes of ducks. The little ones there are Indian runners. This fatter one is an apple yard. So the runners are obviously a little bit sleeker. They can fit through a smaller opening. I need to make this thing sized big enough for the apple yard, but just still too small for the goose. So maybe this is another chance to use my giant pile of PVC fittings. These are just some of them. I bought a pallet of these things a while back, and I thought I could sell the excess on eBay. Nobody wanted any, so I have these things stashed all over the garage. I have some more over there. I have a bunch in this cupboard. I've got more over there. I also have plenty of PVC pipe hoarded. Some of this was from a hoop house project that didn't work out. Anyway, less yakking, more quacking. Let's start making a duck fence with these. I like making things with PVC. It's kind of like, I don't know, big Connect toys for adults, but it sure does take a while to cut all the pieces out. Now I'm just going to roughly assemble this, and if it ends up working, I'll come back later and glue everything together properly. Alright, so here is what our duck filter looks like in use. So we're in the coop here. We've got kind of the goose area in the front. We've got the filter bars to let the ducks through into the back. And then they both have access to the water, so ducks can reach their faces through there. Goose can get the water here. Goose has a feeder here. Ducks have a feeder back there. I have another waterer that lives in the corner. I haven't set it all up yet. I just cleaned in here, so still getting this finished. But yeah, this has been working pretty well. We've actually had the duck filter up now for almost a year. So that other video I filmed, everything you saw was from last year actually. And it's taken me this long to get around to filming the rest of it. And then the birds have this yard out here that they can run around in. More water. And we've shown this pond in the past with the big filter, so that is the deeper pond that they can swim in. the barrel filter system that keeps that clean. So now the goose can rampage around all it wants in the front of the coop, and the ducks have somewhere to go. If the goose gets too annoying, they can just go in the back, so it's a nice spot for them. And that goose does get really crazy. For example, it ate all the plastic off of this hose sprayer, and it chewed completely through this hose and ruined that, so I had to chop that off and put a whole new end on it. I've had to fence off this entire section of the yard, A, because the goose was eating the hose, B, the goose ate the top off of the air conditioner, so I had to put a whole new top on the air conditioner. And then the birds actually got in here and trampled a bunch of stuff. Fortunately, this is all coming back. It's looking a lot better. And this goose filter really has been working to protect the eggs. All of the smart ducks lay their eggs back here in this little nest. For some reason, they all want to share one nest. And then there's always one duck that just drops an egg kind of wherever she feels like it, but at least it doesn't get trampled by the goose right away. I've heard there's some kind of egg shortage, but we have so many eggs, we've been giving them away, and they're big fat duck eggs too. They don't even fit in the egg cartons. So yeah, if you're worried about egg shortages, get some ducks. Don't get a goose though, unless you like everything you own to be destroyed. I'm gonna wrap this one up. If you're interested in the other video about the water filter for the duck pond, I'll put a link to that up here. Thank you to everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time.